Am I the a-hole for refusing to spend time with my stepsister? Backstory: I'm 15F. My parents divorced a year ago because my father cheated. He married the affair girlfriend like instantly. I think he's a complete jerk and told the judge I wanted to live with my mom, so I do, but they still said I had to go to my father's every other weekend. I don't want to see him, so I refused to go at first, but it was stressing my mom out with court stuff. I agreed to go as long as his wife is totally hands-off and I can stay in my room and not be bothered except for one family activity of their choice. So that's where we are. Every other weekend, my dad picks me up, talks at me in the car because I won't talk to him. We go to family therapy where everyone but me talks. I stay in my room until sometime Saturday when I go out with them to do something fun, and then mostly stay in my room until my mom picks me up on Sunday. I have plenty of stuff to keep me busy, so I'm fine, but everyone else not so much. Affair wife has kids, 12F, 9M, that would go to their dads on my weekends, so I never saw them, but the schedule changed so now they're there when I am. 9M is fine, he asks to borrow a video game now and then but he's like polite about it and gives them back, so sure. 12F won't leave me TF alone. Anytime I don't literally have my door locked she's barging in trying to talk to me or wanting to do something. I tried to tell her to leave me alone in a nice way, but last time I just up and told her I never want to talk to her and I'm going to ignore her from now on. She cried about it. Affair wife got mad. My father said she's having a hard time with the divorce too and I shouldn't take it out on her. I told him he could stop forcing me to visit then and problem solved. Everyone is mad. My mom says she gets it, but 12F probably is just looking for someone not her parents to talk to. I just don't see why it has to be me. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I will never accept her or her life choices? I'm grounded with no phone, so I'm using an old phone with 20% battery, so this has to be rushed, so excuse the grammar. I'm 16F. I have a half-sister 29 from my mother's first marriage. We had a good relationship given the age difference. A few months ago it came out she was an adult actress. Her bio dad disowned her, which made my mom super protective. She made her out to be this brave, amazing person. I didn't say shit even when they'd have casual conversations about her work at the dinner table. Someone from my school found out about a week ago and her videos have been sent around. The only thing stands go for me is summer break has already started, so I can at least hide somewhat from everything. I'm praying another scandal happens before September. I'm not going into details of what's been happening, but I've lost friends and was forced to delete all social media. I've been staying in my room mostly and I've not been able to even look at my sister. She didn't know till tonight. But one of my remaining friends' mom reached out to my mom asking about everything. I don't know what was said, but I heard yelling from my mom's end, then she demanded me down to the living room, then called my sister and my dad for a family meeting. Long story short, mom is angry at me for not defending my sister and she wants me to reopen my TikTok account to make a public message defending her and name-shaming basically most of my school. I know this will make it worse, so I told her no. My sister was quite upset, so she asked me was I ashamed of her and demanded me to explain why I couldn't support her. I was so angry at this stage I screamed this was all her fault, that I will never support her or her life choices, and I wished she wasn't my sister because my life has been hell, yet she has the nerve to play victim. It got really heated to the point my dad walked me into my room and told me stay there. Mom came in later, took my phone and told me pack my stuff, I'll be staying with my aunt, dad's sister, for the foreseeable future because she can't stand to be around me right now. I can hear them in my sister's room, she's still crying and mom's comforting. Am I the a-hole for asking if my daughter-in-law fell when I heard of her miscarriage? My son announced his wife's pregnancy at 8 weeks after hearing the heartbeat. Unfortunately, she had a miscarriage around 10 weeks. When my son called me on the phone, I was so shocked that I just blurted out, "Why? Did she fall?" She did not fall, by the way. I didn't realize I was on speakers during that call and my daughter-in-law overheard my reaction. When she got pregnant again, they didn't announce until well into the second trimester. Due to my daughter-in-law ending in a very unexpected C-section, my son requested my help to come over. I cooked, cleaned, did laundry for them, washed the baby, etc. Despite all my hard work, she was still very cold towards me and treated me rather poorly. I finally asked her why and she admitted that she was furious when I sounded very blaming when I asked if she fell. That's why her previous pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. I told her that I asked if she fell not to blame her in any sense but out of concern for her. I said that I am aware there are other reasons that miscarriages occur as members of my immediate family have suffered the same. I was very sad to hear the news. All of us were so happy, excited about her first pregnancy, then next day heard the sad news. We all called to speak to her directly and see how she was but were told she was not ready to speak. We tried to give the space and time she needed for the situation. I don't think she believed me though. Am I the a-hole for asking if my daughter-in-law fell that's why she had a miscarriage? Am I the a-hole for correcting my stepdaughter's dad when he called me her nanny? I've been with my wife for 8 years now. She has primary custody of her daughter, Santana, 9. Santana sees her dad, Mark, every other weekend and some holidays. As I've been one of Santana's primary caretakers for the past 7 years, since I moved in with her mom, I've taken care of her more than Mark has and we are quite close. My wife and I went on to have 2 children together, who are now 5 years and 18 months. I've been a stay-at-home dad since the 5-year-old was born. As a result, I'm the one making lunches, driving kids to activities, etc. that includes for Santana. Mark has always felt insecure about my place in Santana's life. I've always encouraged her relationship with her dad, while also been a place she can go to in order to vent about both her parents. I've never asked her to call me dad, but I've made it clear I love her the same as her siblings. And she's also said she loves me and considers me her second dad. Mark also mocks me for my sod roll. My wife always shuts him down and I just ignore him. He has in the past jokingly called me Santana's nanny and I just roll my eyes and say whatever you think, Mark. I really don't see him much as my wife will take Santana to her dad's and pick her up. However, yesterday, my wife was sick and asked me to pick up Santana. She really couldn't get out of bed and I knew Mark wasn't going to drive out to us, he's refused in the past. So, I went over to his place to pick her up. He was throwing a barbecue and had some family there. I had never met any of them. Santana ran into my arms, excited to see me and shouting my name. A few people looked at Mark curiously. He laughed and said that's Santana's nanny. I shook my head and said I'm her stepfather, Greg. Nice to meet you all. Mark turned red and barely said goodbye to Santana. I didn't think much of it outside Mark just being Mark. However, Mark texted my wife later saying I humiliated him and given I'd likely never see those people again, I shouldn't have said anything. My wife told him he's overreacting and he then texted me, saying I had no right to correct him in his own home. He asked what was the big deal in his family thinking I'm her nanny? Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole because I ate early? We're on vacation with my husband's family. We got here Sunday afternoon, and I was hungry. I made food for myself and my son. My husband said to wait for his family so we could all have dinner together or maybe even go out. It was around 4 o'clock, and he was saying we'd eat at 7. I said I was hungry, and my son and I ate. After that the three of us sat by the pool. His family arrived around 6, and everyone was hungry and wanted to go out to eat. I don't know if it was the traveling or what, but I was exhausted, so I said I was too tired and would go to bed early. My son stayed home with me, because he wasn't hungry and wanted to stay. I woke up early this morning, and I made tea and sat by the pool while my son played. When my sister-in-law woke up, she came out to the pool and told me off for eating early, not going to dinner and being so standoffish. She said everyone wanted to see me and my son, and I was being such a bitch. I said I was tired from traveling. She said if I forced myself to stay awake, I'd be on the same schedule as everyone else, but since I went to bed early and woke up early I was going to have the same excuse tonight. She also told me off for not making breakfast when I was the first to wake up, but I didn't know when everyone was going to wake up, and no one wants cold breakfast. She just rolled her eyes and walked away. I feel like everyone's been standoffish to me all morning and I'm wondering if I should apologize. Was I an asshole?